Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Sumit K, and today I'm going to be showing you how to set up Google Cloud VPN and what is VPN in general, and why do we need VPN setup, and how do we set up in Google Cloud. So I believe everyone who is working in IT sector in IT industry is aware about the VPN. So whether you are working from home or you are working from some remote location, you must be using some sort of VPN, right? But before I deep dive into the Google Cloud VPN, I wanted to show you the Google Cloud hybrid connectivity. Like in how many ways you can set up your hybrid connectivity. Hybrid connectivity means you are connecting from your Google Cloud to on-prem or from your Google Cloud to another cloud. So let's say if any business or organization is having their workloads running in multiple clouds and on-prem, so you need hybrid connectivity, right? So this is what we are going to discuss in this video. So when it comes to hybrid connectivity, there are two ways that you can perform connectivity between your on-prem or between your clouds. So one is Google Cloud VPN, and second is interconnect. So let's talk about interconnect before I jump onto this Google VPN. So in short, interconnect is some sort of physical type of connectivity from your on-prem location to your Google Cloud data center, and it can be achieved in three ways: dedicated interconnect, partner interconnect, and third one is cross connect, which is recently launched in next 2023 last month. So so it's cross cloud interconnect. Next 2023, this cross cloud interconnect was introduced. So we'll cover this in a separate video, yeah, right? So let's focus on VPN. So a VPN, or a virtual private network, is a secure connection between your two networks over a public internet. And VPN in general use encryptions. And why they use encryption? Because they protect your data from being intercepted by the unauthorized people. So by default, VPN use IPsec, and IPsec is a set of protocol that provides security for VPNs. And IPsec is something that use encryption to secure data in transit, right? Um, so again, VPN is of two types. If you see here, VPN is of two types: point to site and site to site. Point to site is basically, let's say you are working from home, and in order to connect to your organization, to your office, you need a VPN software, right? So you install a VPN client on your machine, and then you connect to your office over the internet securely to get your office network. Once you establish a connectivity, then you are able to access your internal application, right? And site to site, we you have your on-prem data center, and you just say you want to migrate, your organization has decided to migrate workloads to Google Cloud. Then before you migrate to data to the Google Cloud or your workloads, you need a sort of connectivity, right? So you can achieve this connectivity using the HAVPN, and to connect those points, you need a VPN gateway. So cloud router is provides HAVPN, and in on-prem you have your router VPN gateway, and then you can establish a establish a connectivity and establish a tunnel between them over the internet. This is a secure connection, and the data can be transferred in a secure way and in encrypted way. So let's understand with the one more um, diagram, one more architecture here. So here you see you have on-prem network, and here you have a Google Cloud. You have some subnets, you have cloud router, you have a cloud VPN gateway, and then you have this cloud VPN gateway has two interface, and in on-prem we have two interface. So even if one interface goes down, another interface will take over it, and your data will be transferred smoothly, right? So it provides you the high availability. So Google Cloud VPN hybrid connectivity allow you to extend your on-prem network to Google Cloud, and this can be done using the VPN or using the interconnect. Okay, so Cloud VPN. Why we use Cloud VPN is basically it is a low cost option that use the public internet to create a secure connection between your on-prem and your network. in Google Cloud. So um, it provides a low cost, right? But the bandwidth is very low. I mean, you can achieve from few MB to 1 GB. So if you want more bandwidth, then you need to go to the interconnect. In Google Cloud, the default IPsec protocol for Google Cloud VPN is IKE version 2. I'll show you, which is the latest version of IKE protocol. IKE V2 provides a number of advantages. I'll show you when I set up the demo. So in this demo, we are going to set up VPN connectivity between two VPC within the Google Cloud. We have two VPC here in different project, and then we have subnets in each project. We have a cloud router in each project, and then we set up a VPN gateway with two interface to for HA. At one interface we have one tunnel, and in second interface we have tunnel two. You can create multiple tunnels, I mean two tunnels on interface 0 and two tunnels on interface 1, but we'll go with one on one. And then we'll also see how to use a firewall rule to allow the connectivity between it. If you have not watched my last video on cloud firewall, then please watch it. Cloud firewall, I have covered it in a very detailed. So without wasting a time, let's go jump onto my Google Cloud console. So I have two projects. You can see that this is my first project, my project 11118, and this is my second project that I just created. Okay, so this is my first project, and this is my second project. Okay, so if you go to VPC network, and here also if you go to VPC network, I have already provisioned a VPC network in each project just to save my time. So you'll see in first project, this project, you have VPC1 with one subnet, Asia South 2 in Delhi region. This is the subnet IP range, CIDR range. And in VPC2 we have VPC, which is in the second, sorry, which is in the second project. Here also we have one subnet with different CIDR range. Make sure that the IPs should not conflict, right? Okay, now we want to establish a VPN connectivity between them. As of now, there is no connectivity. So what would you do? The first step is that you go to your VPC network and go to your hybrid connectivity and go to the cloud router. So create the cloud router, name it cloud router, let's say 1. So say cloud router 1 in Delhi region for the 1. This is VPC 1. Select your region. Your region is Delhi, right? And the Google ASN number, you can use any private ASN number, and I'll use 65001. Uh, this keep it default. And here the routes, I advertise all the subnets visible to cloud router. Select this, create. Similarly, go to your second project and go to hybrid connectivity, cloud router, clear the cloud router, cloud, select cloud router 2. Okay. I guess cloud router Delhi region VPC2. Okay, select VPC2 region. You can have any region, but I selected the same region 65002 and keep all the option, keep it default and create it. Okay, so this part is completed to cloud router. Okay, first of all, actually we are actually first establish a VPN tunnel, and then we will deploy our resource. So once our VPN tunnels are up, then we will deploy our compute engine. Okay, cloud router and cloud router 2 both are set up. Now go to in your first project. Now go to VPN, create a VPN. Here you will get two option. Okay, so I see that there are two options. The first one is HA, high availability VPN. It supports dynamic routing, BGP only, and it supports a high availability 5 nines SLA within the region. I support both IPv4 and IPv6. You can also go for classic VPN, where you'll get a one tunnel. So classic VPN doesn't provides you the high availability, and it only supports the static routing. So let's go with the option first. I show that the Google VPN use IKE version 1, IKE version 2. This is a default, IPsec tunnel, or you can say the encryption method, right? So let's click on one. VPN VN1, and network is VPC1. Delhi. Name is already in use, but I don't have any VPN. Oh, I think I created this before, so I need to delete it first. I'm sorry. Let me delete this first because I don't want to uh, confuse you. Okay, now you can see there is nothing. Okay, let's create a VPN connection. Go to HA mode, set it VPN1. Go select your VPC, select your region, click on continue. Same here, go to project 2, create a VPN connection, HA VPN2, network VPC2, region, create and continue. Now come back to your project 1, and here you have to see, the moment you create a VPN1, you'll get two interface because we have chosen two interface, right? HA. So in HA you'll get a two interface. The first interface is 0, the second interface is 1. So, and you get a and you get a public IP assigned on both the interface, right? And similarly in your project 2, you'll get the two interface with the public IP, right? Now the second option, add the VPN tunnel. So how can you add the VPN tunnel? You need to pair the VPN gateway, right? So how do you do that? You select the Google Cloud, because we have in different project. In second project, select second project. This is your VPN2. Select a pair of VPN tunnels, which will give you 5 nines SLA, which is also a recommended, right? So we'll create a pair of tunnels, two tunnels. Okay, select your cloud router that we have created in the beginning. Now here you'll see, there are two tunnels. If you just minimize that, you have VPN tunnel, if you have two tunnels. So how do you, in first VPN tunnel, if you see, by default it automatically assigned the first interface of your public IP and the first interface of your VPN gateway in the second project. So if you'll see 220, this is your public IP attached to your interface 0 in your first project, and 160 is your the public IP on interface 0 in your second project VPN. So it automatically assigned. So VPN 1, make it tunnel 1. Okay, this is my first tunnel. Select IKE version 1 as of now and generate a pre-shared key. You need to copy it in your notepad or somewhere else because we have to put this in second project. Done. Okay, now configure your VPN tunnel 2. Again, it automatically assigned the interface 1 public IP of this project, and this the public IP address of first interface in your second project, like 181. See that 181, right? Name it VPN 1 tunnel 2. This is my tunnel 2. Okay, select one again, copy this and put it in your notepad. I already copied it in my notepad in a different screen. Okay, so once your VPN tunnels are configured, you can see that this is a dynamic routing cloud router. Okay, I'll show you how dynamic routes works. They basically allow this router to dynamically learn the routes to and from all the Google Cloud regions on a network. So I'll show you. Okay, so create it. Now come here, Google Cloud, select your your first project. You automatically pop up. Again, same thing, but this time it will reverse, right? Again, it automatically detected your associated cloud VPN gateway interface and your peer VPN gateway interface. Same thing, right? So you select VPN2, tunnel 1. Okay, and select v1. And here you need to copy. You don't need to generate the new pre-shared key. Just copy the first tunnel pre-shared key and paste it here. Similarly, go to VPN tunnel, second one, VPN 2, tunnel 2, and select one, copy the pre-shared key. I already copied it. Click on done, click continue. It will take some time. In the meantime, see, you can see that VPN tunnel 1, VPN tunnel 2, VPN tunnel 1 on 0 interface, and VPN tunnel 2 is on first interface. Similarly, you'll get the same screen over here. Okay, so again VPN 2 tunnel 1 has got this public IP on 0 interface, and VPN tunnel 2 on first interface. Now you have to configure the BGP session, right? So how do you do that? Click on BGP session, name it VPN 1, and make it BGP 1. Peer SN number, I'll make it 002 because peer means in another project of cloud router. Cloud router autonomous something called it. I don't know the exact name. Okay. Anyways, so leave it automatically. We will change it. No worries. And similarly, here also VPN on BGP 2 peer, right? Save and continue. And then save. Similarly, come here and configure the BGP session. VPN 2 BGP 1 peer router ASN number of project 1 65001. Save and continue. Configure this VPN 2 BGP 2. Okay, simple, right? Don't be confused. It's there just 3-4 steps and your VPN will be configured. So click on OK. So save here. So one more thing that we need to you know do once your um, tunnels or BGP sessions are created. So you'll see that here it's still waiting for peer. If you see here the VPN tunnel 1 on interface 0, it is the VPN tunnel 1, VPN 1, the peer is VPN 2. Okay, this is the interface public IP of VPN 1, and this is the public IP on VPN 2. So if you see here we have a cloud router BGP IP address 149 and 150, right? So you have to make sure that this is the IP that has been configured in the project 2. So come here and view it. Go to edit BGP session, and here the IP is something different. So what we are gonna do, we're gonna do 150 here, right? And 149 here. Save and continue. Let's see if the tunnels gets up. Okay, so you see that your BGP is established. Your tunnels is already up, but the BGP was not established, so your BGP gets established. You have to make sure that you put the right BGP IP address. So again, for tunnel 2, go to your second project, tunnel 2, view, edit it, and 113. So 113 will come here, and sorry, peer IP, this one comes here, and 113 come here. This is the IP address, right? Save and continue. Okay, I think everything is done. All right, so you can see our VPN's tunnel established status. You can see BGP session status. Everything looks good, right? And the reason is Delhi. Everything looks good. Here also, if you go to the dashboard, you'll see the same screen, right? Now go to your compute engine just to test the connectivity, whether the VPNs are set up correctly or not. So create an instance. I'm in the project one. Let's make it VM1. Go to go to your tele region. Just make it small. Advanced option. Select your network. Create it. Okay. One more thing that I want to say, I have already opened a firewall rule, SSH connectivity from the internet to this network in both the project, so that I can able to SSH into my VM machine to verify the connectivity. Okay. Now go to second project, create an instance, make it VM2, go to Delhi, make it small, network, select your VPC network and create it. Okay. Now if you let's SSH it. Now if you go to VPC network here, let me see the firewall rules. So I have two firewall rules. The first firewall rules is allow SSH. So it will see that from public range. Let's delete it because I don't because this is let's delete this firewall rule. Okay, SSH to this as well. In my second project, go to VPC network, VPC2, firewall. Here also I have allowed SSH connectivity from the internet so that I can log into my VM instance. All right, so now I have already taken a SSH connection to both of the machine. This is your VM1, this is your VM2, this is your VM1, this is your VM2. Now quickly check the IP address here as well. Okay, so now if you're trying to ping this machine, VM2, what would happen? You won't be able to. You can connect. And if you try to ping VM1 from VM2, you won't be able to. Why? Because now we have a VPN connectivity established, right? So it should be able to ping each other, right? But there is a problem. The problem is we have the VPN tunnel set up. Everything is fine. The connectivity is fine, but something is blocking. Now, I talked about cloud firewall, right? So cloud firewall is something that you need to open the connectivity by default. As I said, the ingress connectivity is by default denied in every VPC network when you create it. So you have to explicitly allow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to my first project VPC1, and here I'm going to create a new firewall rule, and I'm saying allow ICMP from VM1 to VM2 VPN. I'll say like something like that. This is my VPC1. Select all the instance as of now. Now what is the source IP range? My VPC2, which is in the second project, right? If you see, this is the IP 10 dot. Just copy this and put it here. Okay, and I'll select only ICMP. Okay, um, everything is looks good. Create it. Now see the effect. You'll see that VM2 now starts pinging to VM1 because I allowed the connect. I allowed the traffic from the VPC2 to VPC1. Now the same thing I'm gonna do this in VPC2 ingress firewall rule. I'm gonna create a ingress firewall rule in VPC2. So I'm gonna say allow ICMP. Sorry, allow CMP VM2 to VM1 class VPN to allow instance. What is the IP range, subnet IP range of VPC1? Make it a source and select the protocol ICMP. All right, you're all set. Now your VM2 starts sending a request. Yes, you can see that. You can see that both VMs are now able to connect. Now, one more thing that I want to show you, which is a very important. I talked about BGP session and all thing, right? So, what is BGP session? So here, in a Google Cloud HA VPN setup, BGP or broader gateway protocol is used to exchange the route between the HA VPN gateway in your Google Cloud and with the peer gateway, right? So this allow the traffic to flow between the two network without having to manually configure the static routes. So BGP is a dynamic routing protocol, and which means that it is automatic. It automatically learns the routes from the available network, and it make it more scalable and efficient solution than the static routing. I'll show you here. Go to my first project, and if you go to route and you select your VPC network and the reason, you will see some default routes and you will see some dynamic routes as well. So so here the first default route is saying this is a local route, right? And within the same network, then the next hop is going to be VPC1. For internet, it is the next hop would be internet gateway. Now dynamic routing, if you've seen this 10.255.180.188.0/24 is the CIDR IP range from my second project, right? VPC2. So this VPC2 has been paired, right? So this is my subnet IP range coming from VPC2. So if I have to talk, if my subnet, my network has to talk from VPC1 to this CIDR range, the next hop is going to be VPN tunnel 1, because we have two tunnel. That's why it has two entries over here. So dynamic route automatically learns your route, right? And it advertise it. So the benefit is I'll show you. If I create a subnet here in VPC1, you don't need to advertise it. Let's do it. I'll show you in a real scenario how it works. So if you go to VPC1 and if you create a subnet 2, uh, same reason, I'm gonna select the same reason, Asia South 2, IP range, let's make it 199 at. This is very important, guys. Routing is very a critical and important topic. If you understand the routing well, you understand your entire VPC network infrastructure, traffic overflow from one VPN gateway to another VPN gateway, especially specifically in the hybrid connectivity. Okay, so you can see that my subnet 2 has been created. This is my IP. Now go to route and see what's there. Um, Go to Delhi and view it. Oh, sorry. I have created a subnet in VPC1, right? So you'll go to the second project, right? Because in this project, it's learning the routing or subnet from the other project. So you'll go to the second project in VPC2, go to route, select the VPC network, and select the region. Now you'll see here route entry here. So again, you'll see this default and okay, so you can see that these two entries has been created, right? I've created a subnet 2 with this IP range 10.255.1990, right? So you can see that cloud router is dynamically learning your routes, okay, uh, from and using the BGP session, and you can see that the next step is going to be VPN tunnel 1 and VPN tunnel 2. So if you create a subnets here, it will automatically populate or advertise to my VPC1 network. So this is the advantage, right? So one more thing I would like to show you here. So if I let's so I have two subnets here, right? I have two subnets here. So if my and here I have one subnet, right? So if you allow, uh, if you create a VPC, if so already we have a, so we have subnet one here. So if you go to compute engine, this machine VM2 is already created in subnet one. Now what happen? Now what if I create a one more virtual machine in subnet two here in project one, then I can just open the firewall rule and VM. Let's say I create a here some test VM. My test VM is able to connect to my VM2. You don't need to set up explicitly set up your routings, because routing is something that is taken care by your cloud router BGP session. All right. So I think that is enough for today's video. I think so in next video, um, we're gonna set up um, VPN connectivity between the two clouds, cross clouds you can say, using the VPN tunnel, yeah, like Google Cloud, or between Google Cloud and AWS Cloud, or between Google Cloud or Azure Cloud. All right. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free to comment in the comment section, and I will be happy to answer it. So thank you for watching it. Have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.